Hello, hello, hello. Thanks for coming to Larger Curves today. Make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. If you haven't already, go ahead and ring the bell so you can get notified next time I upload a video. And so you can become part of the beautiful curvy community that we're growing over here in the YouTube streets. Thanks for coming through. Thanks for being you. Okay? Yes. So, as you can tell by the thumbnail and the description, it says that we're here for weekend reality news, meaning the week has ended and this is the rest of the reality news. Okay, we had some things happen. Mademoiselle, bonjour, comment allez-vous? Merci for you being here. I don't know how to say that part. I'm sipping on my dandelion elderberry tea, and it's raining out here in California. They just put on the bottom of my screen down here, it says severe weather alert, flooding. Flooding. So now we're about to get an Arctic river in California. And people who know about what happens to the soil after a fire, like, so now there could be mudslides in the hills of Palisades because, yeah. So, anyway, that's on the horizon along with all the other stuff. But I don't need to talk about that. We're here to talk about reality news, the things that divert our attention from what many would call the fiasco happening all around us in this world. And so on our agenda today, we have Melody Holt, and then we're going to check out Inner Alchemist TV here on the YouTube street. She did a reading, a tarot reading. That's what those tarot cards are, about Carlos and what the situation is with Melody. And I thought that was really interesting because it resonates with what I was even thinking. And I didn't do a spread on it, but I could see how that works. And then we have Simon Goubadia standing front and center with his elbow on Porsha's head because I couldn't get his foot to get on her neck. Okay? I couldn't find a picture that could get it to be his foot on her neck. So I just put his elbow upon Porsha's head because he's not letting her rest. Okay? The trailer for Real Housewives of Atlanta has finally dropped. People were eagerly awaiting it. I was not either way. I'm glad the Black women are working. However, I hope they can work together on not being a stereotype. I hope they can rise above all of that stuff and give me some Black excellence. Then I might watch. But it's all been like fake storylines and stuff from what I can remember before I stopped watching. But anyway, Porsha, the last time I did see her over there was when #LoveWins. And she met Simon Goubadia, or so it appeared, on that episode where Fallon was showing him around the house and flashing that at least 7 or 8 carat ring, 8 carat diamond ring, talking about it was time for an upgrade a year later. Remember that scene? Well, then he ended up marrying Porsha, and I didn't have a problem with him marrying Porsha. Like I said, #LoveWins. And Fallon was totally pregnant by the pool boy, just like Simon said. So Porsha was not being a who-res in that situation. You can't be a who-res if the person who's courting you has a wife who's currently pregnant by the pool boy. You cannot be a who-res in that situation. Nope. And everybody knows I am not tolerating who-reses. So that's why she got a pass in that situation. But in the trailer that finally dropped for Real Housewives of Atlanta, after it went on an extended hiatus due to revenge porn gate and peeing on the poster board gate. Yep. Due to that, because Ken Moore took it too far. Yeah. And then she lied and backpedaled and what some would say pussy popped. but not like a good old Evelyn Lozada pussy pop. But she tried it, y'all. She tried it. She tried to be like, oh, I was feared for my life because of words. I'm like, what? Are you a police officer in your spare time? What? You're scared about words? What? Anyway, shout out to the boys in blue. You guys, when the trailer finally dropped, they didn't really show us a lot. They showed us a lot of fabulosity and freaking fashion. But as far as what the season's gonna give, it was kind of like, I don't know. It wasn't like a lot, but I love the lady's intro. And a shout out to Shamia Morton for the freaking fur boot ensemble. She was like, you guys do gowns, I'll do fur boots. I'm going to stand out. Haha, I'm different. All eyes on me. Booty shorts and fur boots. The first time Shamia gets a peach. Now, I'm not sure who styled her and everything, and it's cute. But shout out because she stood out like none of the other ladies. They were all in gowns, looking as fabulous as ever. But Shamia Morton, never have we ever. That would not have been on my bingo card. Never have we ever seen the housewife in the opening thing, credits, with fur knee-high boots on, okay? Booty shorts, okay? And a pixie cut. Never have we ever. So shout out to her. But anyway, we heard Mama Diane in that trailer bring up Simon Goubadia. And ooh, Mama Diane triggered Simon, who we haven't really heard from. Like I have been following him, but he hadn't been coming up on my timeline. I don't know if it's because, but I don't know. But he seems to be posting lately. And so his elbows on Porsha's head, you guys. And then we have Dr. Heavenly. Because what also dropped the same 48-hour period as the Real Housewives of Atlanta's super trailer, we had the mid-season trailer for Married to Medicine drop, right? And we left Married to Medicine last week with the ladies arriving on the sandbar somewhere local in the United States, because that's what doctors get. The housewives, the Real Housewives of name a city, get Scotland, England, Holland, Paris, Amsterdam. Pick a extravaganza. But the doctors on Bravo get local flair. Okay, we see you, but nothing to see here, folks. Anyway, I'm the only one who thought about that, right? If anything, I would say it's the Lifesavers that should be an international trip somewhere. Yeah. Anyway, Mel is in the house. Richie B is in the house. Yes. I bet a lot of people are so glad at the thought of a squatter getting ownership rights at Melody's expense. But okay. It's all good. I love Richie B, you guys. And Mel NYC, good morning. Okay. So then we have Dr. Heavenly, who, after the Married to Medicine trailer dropped, she had some thoughts on her Instagram. Okay. And then I just wanted to round it all up with the similarities between the Goubadia and Rodgers of it all versus the networks and production. Because I see some similarities in as much as how OWN is in trouble. So Melody quit Love and Marriage Huntsville this week after going live and blowing up the spot. She abolished the fourth wall. She, with sniper precision, addressed and took out every misnomer, misinformation that she felt. And then within 24 hours of that, quit. And everybody who's anybody knows that it's a similar situation to Mariah Huck, in as much as she was the creator of the show initially. But then Carlos King morphed it just enough, morphed it just enough that it was no longer her intellectual property. And he got to say, I created this show. But it was off of her concept enough to the point where her and Martell, making a capital HOE Holt, get credits in the credits. You know what I'm saying? Like EP credits, but not creator credits. And on Married to Medicine, we had Mariah Huck, who created and fostered and brought to fruition on Bravo. She had some other opportunities and decided to land it on Bravo, which ended up not being in her best interest because the higher ups did not like working with her, let the people tell it, allegedly, to the point where they removed her from her position. And the other women continuing on her creation, is what's happening. So, but I don't feel like that was a bed bug situation on Married to Medicine, because the higher ups did what they did. On Love and Marriage Huntsville, I feel like there's a bed bug situation where the co-stars who were invited on this platform under the concept of Melody's original idea, but then it morphed into whatever, like came in, attacked, and infested her masterpiece to the degree where she had to leave it. That's what I think happened. I mean, she was like, I've fumigated this thing 8 times and it keeps happening. And for her own peace of mind, and because the chemicals were probably getting to her, she had to leave her house. And there was a lot of people that are very happy about her leaving her house. And I'm like, if the other people in the house, if the bed bugs are so fantastic, if they're so magnificent, if they're so extraordinary, exemplary, then why didn't they create their own something? Why didn't they, in all their creative genius, have their show morphed into something? Why did they have to be on the coattails of her and her show in order to get an in, to then infiltrate with their entire clan and be allowed to, for 9 seasons, attack? Like, I'm really wondering what they're going to talk about with her gone. I mean, it's probably going to be a Nene situation where, like, for the first 2 seasons after she's gone, they can't keep a bitch out of their mouth, right? But because I feel like this season on Love and Marriage Huntsville, they did a lot of melody. They couldn't keep Melody's name out of their mouth. No. Every scene in every episode, they said, Melody. Why is she here? Why is she not here? Why is she walking away? Where is Melody today? That was they were doing all season. What were they doing? Except for getting mad when Melody was doing what they were doing. They brought up Melody's outside stuff on camera for 9 seasons. And then this season, she brings up some outside stuff. And it was clear to the people that was watching, they didn't even need her 2-hour explanation earlier this week on how she had to reveal the text messages where the scenes are so set up on reality TV, Love and Marriage Huntsville, that the producers are like, you're going to meet at ABC Bakery at 11:11 on Tuesday. And they texted to her and they texted to the other person who's going to be in the scene. And they're like, and you're going to talk about this. It's going to be the red lipstick. It's all over social media. You're going to talk about it. To which, even if you say you don't feel like talking about it, you go ahead and talk about it. Yeah, the same way across franchises. If production tells the people enough to do it, some people will do it. Mm-hmm. Sure will. Yep. 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 Well, okay. So let's hurry up and let me show you these couple of things. Excuse me, drinking my tea. I still have a little rasp in my voice right here. Okay, so we're going to stop sharing this and we're going to start sharing. Thanks for being here. Go ahead and smash that like button, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. You know what to do, and ring my bell so you can get notified when we upload videos. All right. All right. Okay, so let's share this screen. Let's share this one first. So, what are you doing? Okay. So as you can see here, this is an Instagram post for Dr. Heavenly. And this is what she put 19 hours ago underneath the trailer for Married to Medicine. She said, somebody call hashtag RHOA because this is how you do a fucking trailer. Great job at TV by Bop. Hashtag Dr. Heavenly, hashtag Married to Med, hashtag Team Daddy. Okay. So let me make this, reduce the screen like this. No, I don't want it big. I want this one. Okay. So, and that was because this played, which I can't let play, but I like the Bridgerton of it all. And I was like, she is definitely giving us Queen Charlotte here, right? And everybody looks so made up. I love the idea of a Bridgerton themed anything, right? And then we have, of course, the current circumstances of them being on the sandbar. So it's going to continue here. And it won't let me move up or down. And it looks like everybody's having fun on the boat. Grand Rising, my mare. And then the guys, so this is where the setup happens because remember, Phaedra knows that Apollo was going to come. And she was like, he better not bring anybody. And then she decided to bring Shake. And then it gets back to Apollo. And Apollo's like, well, of course, my wife is coming. And so we already know from this last episode that Shake and Phaedra's scene seems set up because it's weird how he was like, oh, who are you? What do you do? How do you spell your name again? And she's like, oh, I'm a mortician and I'm a lawyer and I'm a this and I'm a that, like just giving us her accolades and resume again. And then 2 bites later, literally 2 bites of food later, he's saying how the he knows Apollo and is really good friends with Apollo's ex-wife, with Apollo's current wife. But you don't know who Phaedra is, but you know who Apollo and Apollo's current wife are, but you don't know who Phaedra is. You don't know. I'm really trying, wait, this is how I try to make things make sense. You don't know who Phaedra is, but you know she has an ex-husband who has a current wife, but you don't know who Phaedra is. You don't know her. Nope, doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so then we have Apollo and Sheik shaking hands on the sandbar. And then it looks like there's going to be a little something where the freaking yeah, they're saying, you know each other, right? And then all that's happening. And then it looks like Phaedra's finally going to say something this season. She's finally going to say something this season in front of everybody and not just to Sweet Tea and Contessa. And in front of everybody, she's going to pretend like Apollo has a problem with who she's dating. Okay? Interesting. Interesting. Everybody's like, whoa, what's going on? Oh my gosh. And then we have the Dr. G and King of it all. Yeah. And King is like, I'm not letting nothing go. Right. And then for some reason, at least King's sunglasses fall off on the sand. It's we hear that Dr. G lost his Gucci sunglasses he had on the paddleboard. Yeah, he lost those. But he threw his sunglasses. Everybody's just looking. See, Dr. Heavenly's back there. Who's that in the purple shorts? Who is that? Is that Dr. Heavenly? Who's that? So that's Dr. Jackie. Yeah, I think that's Dr. Heavenly back there. But who's in the purple shorts? Who's purple shorts? And now they're all rallying against around Sweet and Sour. And it looks like Phaedra, Contessa, and maybe, I don't know. So, oh, look, his shorts match her bikini trim. That's cute. And then Toya, of all people, is acknowledging that she's, but only with the we, that we do some messed up stuff in this circle. Okay. And I feel like, yeah, they all do it, but they rarely acknowledge it. And then Dr. Heavenly is telling them, don't bring no exes around me. I'm just letting y'all know. Just don't do it. And even though she is the one that, but her and Dr. Daddy don't have any, exes to bring on because that's the only man she's ever been with. And then for some reason, okay, so you guys, did you see my video on Phaedra and her established pattern? I believe on that video, it's going to be the thumbnail with Uba Hassan, Chanel Ayan, Phaedra Parks, and Bryn Whitfield are on a thumbnail from earlier this week. Because after the lie that Bryn Whitfield told, I'm like, that was so Phaedra Parks, right? But then Chanel Ayan did an interview this week where she told on Phaedra. And she told how Phaedra was calling the lady when Phaedra did end up on Dubai. It was because she had called the women of Dubai and did not DM them. She's lawyer enough to know, don't put that shit in writing. She went and she DM'd them, yeah, let's meet for lunch. But at the lunch, she was like, can you guys get me on your show? Yeah. So Miss Phaedra went all the way to Dubai to beg to get on Real Housewives of Dubai, you guys. And if you guys remember, didn't she do Real Housewives of Dubai and then she did Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip? And didn't she, when she did Real Housewives of Dubai and Ultimate Girls Trip, they asked her about Real Housewives of Atlanta and she said something about she wouldn't be returning to the Titanic? Didn't she say something like that? I believe she did. And now she's right over there talking about her and frickin' frack and she's home and this is where she belongs. And I knew that when she said that line about the Titanic, that it was just jealousy. She was just jealous she wasn't on the Titanic sinking with them. I knew it was. I knew it was jealousy. But on Married to Medicine, I feel like what we're seeing is a furthering of her pattern, power of using specifically, well, so far I've only heard Black women say this is their experience, and see that this is the experience they had. Where Phaedra Parks, from what I see happening and from what these ladies say happened to them in their experience, I'm saying allegedly, she will call a lady ask her for a favor. Let me get on your Dubai. Let me get on your Married to Medicine. Right? And and then her and Candy were really, I'm starting to think the pattern was established way back in Candyland, because the way she was lying damaging Candy after her and Candy were semi-alliance, and they, their alliance helped each other until it didn't. So I'm thinking it goes all the way back to Candyland, and I might have missed it. But it seems like she has a pattern of like kind of using you, and then as soon as she's done with you, she'll do something to disparage you or to bring light to a disparaging situation about you. Or, as we've already seen, she'll just straight up just fucking lie. Right? And there was another tarot card reader in the YouTube streets that did a reading specifically on Phaedra, Married to Medicine, Real Housewives of Atlanta, and on her and Dr. Heavenly, who she also she used Dr. Heavenly too. Yeah, I'll tell you how. So, okay. Her calling and meeting with the ladies of Dubai and asking to go to lunch, and then them getting her on Dubai. And then first chance she gets, somebody asks her about who's the something about the worst something, and she starts talking shit about Dubai, the place she was just at, that gave her foot back into Bravo land. Just follow me. And it might have just been her being coy, but was it? Why not be like, oh my God, I can't say anything. I don't know. There is no worse. I mean, those ladies did give me a hand up when I needed it. They did acquiesce to my request to let me on their show. They did. And then, remember, she got all big-headed and she was like, oh, I helped their ratings. Oh, I helped their ratings. And the Carolines were like, no, you didn't. Not really. Not really. As a matter of fact, not really. So then we had her on Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. And then we had her befriend Quad and let Quad and the people tell it. Allegedly, she was like, oh, can I get on Married to Medicine? Because of Quad, she was introduced to Married to Medicine behind the scenes and in front of the camera. She gets on Married to Medicine, sees that Quad isn't the flavor of the month, distances herself from Quad, attaches herself to Heavenly. Heavenly was the only one getting Reiki because that was supposedly her medicine in after her alleged doctor guy she was allegedly dating had to get blurred out because he wasn't signing the release, allegedly. It's for the people who wanted to know how did she ended up on Married to Medicine, because she was allegedly dating a doctor, remember? But then we never saw him. And then all we got was smirks and pretty wigs whenever we asked about that fool, right? And then all of a sudden she got dressed up and there was bells and incense burning and she was a Reiki master, remember? Okay? And she did that Reiki scene with Dr. Heavenly, remember? So first you get on because of Quad, and then you discard Quad. After you say you tried to help her with the revival in the casket. That was her way of trying to help. But she said Quad went off script. And so there was no help in that. So then instead, she distanced herself, attaches herself to Dr. Heavenly, gets through the season, skates by. What did freaking Phaedra Parks add to content-wise in a conversation? What did she add to Married to Medicine? She's beautiful. She has great wigs. She does wonderful faces. I mean, look at this smirk. She has like perfected a good smirk, a good sneer. This wig is fabulosity. This makeup is freaking I don't know if she's macking or shout out to Pat McGrath, you know. I'm not sure if she's narsing. I'm not sure. But what did she literally add as far as camaraderie, sisterhood, a good conversation? Or was she always playing coy church lady? Like she was like just like on the fringe while also feeling superior. It was interesting. It was weird. It's like, I'm not sure how you're the highest one on the chandelier when you're all bright like a diamond, right? But you're literally not giving us anything but smirks and great wigs. Put it in the chat if she gave us something else. I'm waiting. I've been waiting. You know, I love a good debate, a banter. Say if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong, but I'm not. So we have that situation. And then come to find out, this season, one season later, after she befriended Quad, used Quad to get on the show, discarded Quad, after she befriended Heavenly, was hanging out with Heavenly, and now is totally off Heavenly, then she went to HR. Yeah, our girl right here went to HR. She took it a step further. She said she revived the show and in the meantime had gone to HR. Yeah, their version of HR, because I believe they're contract employees. She went to their version of HR and tried to get Quad kicked off the show. The same melanated goddess who brought you into the fold, you then went and actively tried to take money and food off of her fucking table. What the fuck? And this is the look I have on my face right now too, Phaedra. Thanks for doing it for me. I'm like, really, Phaedra? Really, Phaedra? You did that to Quad? And then turn around and befriend Sweet and Sour and Contessa, specifically the two people that are against her two allies from last season, Quad and Dr. Heavenly. Are you seeing the pattern power? And then she was in with Dr. Jackie, got to be in charge of the Met Gala, dropped the ball, did all her big talking and fluffing and stuff like that. Then when called on it, now they're mean girls for pointing it out. And she be going from villain to victim real quick. When she finally does say something, she's a victim. But she's doing villain shit all behind the cameras. Going to HR for Quad, really? And the other bitches went too. Because you know they're all just, as far as Quad goes, I guess they were still upset about Quad. Because the other bitches went too. You know who wasn't at the meeting? They didn't call Dr. Heavenly to the meeting. Nope. But you know who told them about the meeting? Dr. Jackie. Yep. Because that's a real one. Dr. Jackie. Y'all can be mad all day long, all you want. But Dr. Jackie's not, no. 20 years far outweigh one comment, whatever. You guys can kick rocks with that bullshit. Show me what you did for 20 years. Show me. Anyway. I'm like, really, Phaedra? You went to HR and tried to get Miss Quad kicked off the show? Yeah, and Quad is so freaking protected, you guys. Think about it. How many times in 11 seasons now have they come for Quad? After Mariah was off, no, while Mariah was on, they came for Quad. And then after Mariah got off, they came for Quad. And then when Quad was getting divorced, they came for Quad. And then after Quad was divorced, they came for Quad. And then just in Napa last year, they came for Quad. And now come to find out, those bitches had came for Quad by all attending the meeting that Phaedra Parks coordinated with HR to get Quad kicked off the fucking show. So a lot of those bitches got some splaining to do. I thought we were supposed to be Black excellence, not crabs in a barrel. I don't know. For some reason, as a Black person, I'm hoping that by the time you get to Black excellence, you're not having any crab in a barrel mentality where you're pulling the next bitch down to your low vibe shit. Well, what the fuck is this? What is this? And I do not like them playing up to that stereotype of crabs in a barrel. That's literally 5 bitches trying to pull one bitch's paycheck out her mouth for smirks and a good wig. And she left your guy's ass to go run to Real Housewives of Atlanta the first chance she got. The first chance she got. Really? So you were just there to fuck with the best show already on Bravo. You're lucky they let you on their stage for 2 seconds. Because then you got to do Traitors, which was your perfect show to do, Miss Lady. Because it involves smirks and wigs and lying. Yes. No wonder you got a fucking Emmy for being yourself, as it turns out. So now, in this trailer, we have this smirking wig, Phaedra, about to try to blame Dr. Heavenly some more. Now, she spent the season so far blaming Dr. Heavenly. Everything is wrong with Dr. Heavenly all season long. Now, remember, last season, her and Dr. Heavenly were doing Reiki sections. So what happened between last season and this season, except for Dr. Heavenly not only thwarted her plan to get Quad kicked off the show, and you know how she did that? Was because after they had the meeting, they had decided that they was going to pull a Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and where they were like, we're not going to be filming with her. That's what they did to Monica. They were like, we're not going to be filming with her. And Monica wasn't going to have anybody to film with. And so they got her kicked off. And now over here on Married to Medicine, enough ladies were like, we're not going to film with her, to the point where Dr. Heavenly had to come forward and be like, I'll film with Quad. And that's why we see the 2 sister girls that we love already, because she's like, that's my friend. That's my friend. Now, Dr. Jackie is her BFF, but Dr. Quad, that's her girl. And she's like, please, you guys, for Phaedra, you guys want to kick Quad off for Phaedra? Please. Dr. Heavenly's like, I got you, Quad. And that's why we have Quad on this season with King. What do we have Phaedra over here with? With wigs, smirks, and Rent-A-Man, Chic. She had to go run and try to get a king. You see that? She ran and tried to get a king. You see that? At the sweet and savory pimps and hoes hookup thing, I'm telling you, that gave me a lot of madam. That gave me a lot more madam and pimps than it did sweet and savory. Shout out to Quad's seasoning. But anyway, I'm like, what the heck is going on for her to now fix her mouth after the season of tearing down Dr. Jackie? Because Jackie saw her for who she is, found out her connects wasn't her connects, right? And that she dropped the ball and thwarted her plan to be around, to have Quad kicked off. So then she runs to the people that were in on the plan with her, which is Contessa and Sweet Tea. You guys, I do not like it, Sam. I do not like green eggs and ham. So this is when she's spinning the thing, trying to act like Dr. Heavenly is a problem. Yeah. And then this is at Quad's house at the resort. And you know what's really interesting to me is that I keep hearing people say, oh, Quad wants what Sweet Tea has. And I'm like, really? Quad wants her old house back? Quad wants Dr. G back? Really? I'm just going to leave this right here and you guys tell me, really? So Quad wants Dr. G? Really? So you're telling me Quad wants Dr. G? Really? And her old house? without this waterfall in the backyard? Really? Quad is jealous of sweet and sour? Really? 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 I need you to say it out loud wherever you are if you really believe that while looking at this picture. Just say where you are. Just say, Quad is jealous of Sweet Tea and Dr. G and what they have. Really? Really? Okay. I'm like, not that it's a competition, but the statement that she's jealous of it implies competition, which implies that she's not happy with and quite satisfied with. Yeah, it implies that she has some kind of problem with and would much rather Dr. G and wants Dr. G's old house. The house he hasn't cleaned her stuff out of for 5 years. Haven't they been divorced for 5 years? And Sweet Tea, just in this last episode, 5 years later, was cleaning out Quad stuff so aggressively. Really? I would have been doing that shit aggressively too. I would have been like, why is this stuff still in here? You still want her. You're jealous of her. I would have had to face the fact that maybe my husband is jealous of his ex, keeping all her lamps in the house and her seasoning so she can get the idea for sweet and savory in the back of her mind subconsciously, where it's just on her mind because it was in her kitchen, you guys. Yeah. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense that Quad is jealous of anything that she's left and moved beyond in place of her current situation. That's just my thought. I don't know. But we all get thoughts, you know? And this is her trying to get him to move into her resort. And he's like, look, I'm the man. I am a man and I like moving where I need to move, you know? So then we have Contessa and Scott, who's been on Beyonce's mute challenge the entire season, except for he rapped. And that must have been all he said he would do. He's like, I'll rap and I'm not saying nothing else the whole season. If he had a wig, he would be smirks and wigs too this whole season so far. He's not adding nothing. He's not saying nothing. Contessa's doing a lot of performing. And this is Contessa saying that there's a restraining order. Somebody got a restraining order based off of the brawl on the sandbar. And then we have the veins and Dr. G's. Oh, yeah, this is what Quad is jealous of, by the way. This is who Quad wants back. This is who Quad wants back. Everybody keep saying Quad is jealous. I just want you to hear how ridiculous y'all sound. Nobody's jealous of nothing. I don't think. And if they are, it's not in the order that most people are alleging. But this is Dr. G. And I feel like the veins are in his forehead because he's very upset about the punking he was attempting on the freaking sandbar. Because remember, Quad was on Sherry Shepherd's show this week or last week and was saying how Dr. G started all the stuff we're about to see. Dr. G started it. I pity the fool. I pity the fool. And the men are saying, oh, you're the one that called the police? And you saw that little like, really? I don't know. It looked like a really. And this looks like, is this when Mimi and Quad? This is the new doctor, Mimi. She's a psychologist. And Quad are getting a little bit into it. I don't know. Oh, and then this is the new husband. This is Mimi's husband. This dude is Mimi's husband. and he's an ex-NFL star. And he's telling Dr. G that it's time to pick a side. And all we're getting from Scott is nothing. Well, it doesn't really matter, I guess. His wife is saying enough. And then some more Bridgerton, fabulosity. Everybody looks extravaganza. I love Bridgerton. Can't wait for some more Queen Charlotte. Can't get enough. And look, Anila keeps getting to do pop-ups. She wants back on bad. And you know what's really interesting to me, you guys? It's like all this fake outrage these ladies of Black excellence have. Because remember when Anila's house got broke into? And she said in no uncertain terms that she thought that Toya had everything to do with it. That's why she got kicked off the show, you know? Because they were like, you can't be like the non-Black on here calling us doctor ladies, criminals. And specifically, Toya forgave Anila for doing and saying that on camera. Remember, it was on camera. And then she didn't talk to Quad, who repeated what Anila said on camera for like 2 years. Remember? That's why I'm like, these bitches are fake. Her and Quad and Dr. Heavenly, I like a lot. Simone is a flip-flopper, and Toya just gets to skate by so easy. How did you get to forgive to the point of inviting her back, but you was at the meeting to get Quad kicked off the show? That's some nasty shit to me. That's just nasty. So then we have the Queen Charlottes. Everybody's a Queen Charlotte. I love it. And they all look fabulous. And that was the Married to Medicine freaking trailer. And that's why Dr. Heavenly said, somebody call RHOA, because this is how you do a effing trailer. Great job, TV by Bob. Okay. So while we're here in the Instas, our next stop will be Simon Goubadia. Because Simon was quiet. Simon was like, let me live. He posted 6 days ago, I'm grateful, even in times like these, I can find silver lining, world around us, a happy Saturday. And he used to do posts like that a lot when him and Porsha were first getting married and stuff. I used to watch, and he would do a lot of inspirational stuff. And then he posted 6 days ago about he's an executive producer on this movie with Lucas Till, Lucy Hale, Cedric the Entertainer, Brian Dennehy, Son of the South. He's an EP. He's an executive producer on there. He produced it with Spike Lee. Yeah. And it's about how he wants to foster critical conversations about civil rights. Ooh, shout out to Black History Month. About civil rights and the ongoing importance of diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI. For me, being a minority began 60 years ago when I was born. I will continue to share my perspective, my experiences, and how the world around me continues to shape and inspire my journey. As an executive producer, I'm reminded of how deeply I value human experiences. When we remain silent, we risk disrespecting the sacrifices that have shaped our journey as a human race. Okay, so he was fine. And then one day again, then he was quiet. And then we had the Real Housewives of Atlanta trailer drop, right? Hope. And they triggered him. Somebody's triggered. Simon Goubadia is triggered. I keep trying to avoid this ungrateful family like the plague, but they keep coming back. My name is not Cordell Stewart. I fight back with facts. You can bet on it. The real fraudsters will be exposed. Looks like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree after all. The audacity of this family is truly unbelievable. Call your lawyers and find the quickest exit from this catastrophic narrative you keep coming up with. It will continue to be costly to all parties concerned. Smack my damn head. People are saying Bravo was about business. They should have offered Simon the chance to share his side of the story on Real Housewives. Not only would it have made great TV, it would have been given viewers a perspective. So because they included not only the words from Miss Diane, calling him a fraudster and a scammer, continuing this fake narrative, like I, for one, don't buy it. If he doesn't have any money, then why are you driving around in the Rolls Royce? If he doesn't have any money, then how are you staying in the house? That's $7 million. That's definitely an asset that's worth money, that's paid for. So what was the scam? I'm like, what the fuck are they talking about? Every plane ride you went on, she doesn't have to foot the bill for it. So what is she talking about? Frauds and scams, when all we saw was her entire family traveling the world for almost a year, right? So anyway, he said Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16 is going to be so much fun exposing this family. Let's head back to Costa Rica, Mom, and see who's defrauding and scamming. We'll make receipts available publicly. And then it shows the scene, your first look at the Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16, RHOA. The fraughting, the scamming, it makes you think how much was real, is what Diane is saying about this man's character on a globally syndicated platform. Okay, I feel like he has every right to say something. She got on this whole thing and called Cordell Stewart gay, remember? And people still repeat it like it's the truth. People still are like, oh, is Kim Field's husband that? Because they brought it to this platform. So running with this narrative that he's some kind of fraudster is harmful to his business, right? And then he said, you should have asked her for a copy of her prenup. Now we all look collectively foolish. Okay? And here comes Bravo, a subsidiary of Comcast NBC Universal, actively enabling and supporting a narrative that's legally shielded by a prenup confidentiality clause. How reckless for a $167 billion enterprise. Wow. Smack my damn head. See, you can keep playing with people all you want. Like he said, he's not fucking Cordell. You're not going to sit up here and have the world think he's gay. Nope, not going to happen. And this brings me to my point with Dr. Melody Shari Rodgers. And when she went live 2 hours and she blew up production and she shattered the fourth wall, she made reference to production and, you know, corporate in them allowing this narrative. So here we yet have again two major platforms using their power to have false narratives, harmful narratives against the melanated who are fighting back in this case, because I haven't heard of many other people fighting back specifically about a narrative that's not right and how they're being skewed. So let's take a look at what Melody Rodgers was talking about. Narrative that's being on her. So let's put this down. Where is this? Oh, here we go. Sorry. So in Melody's thing, she had to answer. That's what made her quit, was that this or maybe she was going to quit before that because she had did a downloading thing and it was like millimeters downloading. But if you go right now on your browsers, any of your browsers, pick a browser, and you type in Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 9, Episode 30, you will not get a description. If you type in Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 9, Episode 29, you'll get a description. If you type in Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 9, Episode 31, you'll get a description. But after Melody blew them up for not only running with the narrative that they helped create and foster, the harmful narrative, along with the constant attacks of untrue, unfounded information, all of that, she's like, you guys, thank you so much for putting it in writing. They made it the synopsis with the latest fake claim about the grooming allegations from Destiny. Okay? Because in that 2-hour live, which is available here on Larger Curves, I can show us some of it. Maybe I can find the part that's exactly about this. But it says Love and Marriage Huntsville, Season 9, Episode 30. Kimmy and Melody argue over Melody's double standards. So in her 2-hour live, she addressed what this argument is, a fake argument, because we talked about it several times on and off camera. You and I were cool about it. So you sitting here yelling at me, berating me about some bullshit is bullshit. And it's just to make me look bad, because they started the season off talking about how the millimeters were the problem, right? Melody's millimeters were the problem. And now we're to the point where Melody's the problem, but it's all been Melody driven, right? And then it goes on to say, Destiny claims Martell and Melody groomed. It won't get any bigger for me. Melody groomed. So in her 2-hour live, she talks about how that's not true. She gives a timeline of her and Destiny's friendship. And it's, now for anybody who ever thought that Destiny was little single Black female towards Melody, you are totally right. She didn't even really start kicking it with that bitch till 2018 for her to be like, oh my God, you're my village. Oh my God. It's like, okay. And had verified proof of, if you're saying I groomed you, then why do I have 20 unanswered messages from you to me of you trying to engage me? Why do I have 20 unanswered messages of you, Destiny Williams, trying to get in contact into my anything, but I groomed you? Okay. But for the but for OWN, Kingdom Reign, and whoever else to put it up there is what the biggest problem is. And she said that, and now if you Google it, we can't find it. Want to see for ourselves? Let's see. Because I was like, where's it at? Oh, wait. Cancel. Bring this up. There. And then I'll show you that video too. Let's see. So that's going to be here. Share. So if we go here and we say Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay. And see how it has, they changed it here now. So now it's changed. This is brand new. See how it says new? They literally just changed it. I just looked at it this morning. It says the ladies returned to Huntsville with vengeance after and Marceau's friendship. Oh, see, so here you go. So the only place you can find it is here under Rotten Tomatoes. That's the only place that you can find the actual word groomed, right? But then if you click on it, watch, you get a 404. Page not found. They removed it, you guys. You see that? Are you guys here? You see that? So whatever she said in her interview when she did her live the other day, what she said got them to rethink what they had put up there, because now you get a 404, page not found, and it's not available. But if you say episode 29, let's see what happens. Did they just remove all the episodes? Let's see. Episode 29. I have to say season 9. Sorry, you guys. Forgot I took that off. Well, you see what I'm talking about. It disappeared. Damn it. But because Mel quit, I don't know. I don't know if you guys do tarot or ever used to read your daily horoscope, but this lady on YouTube called Inner Alchemist TV, she does tarot readings on reality shows, and she has been for a while. And so she did a tarot reading on Carlos's reaction, and she did a tarot reading.
Welcome back to the Inner Alchemist TV. In today's video,
and she did a tarot reading on Nell, because anybody who saw that video of Melody will know that she had specifically addressed Nell also, because Nell is trying to act all like she's to Melody, like she's like, that it's not as much as she's putting on it. Like, so anyway, so this lady, Inner Alchemist, did her cards, and let me fast forward it. Playback.
But for the audience, it just generates way too much hate and negativity. You know what I mean? But until then, let's go ahead and dip into our cast reactions to Melody Shari's departure. Before we get started, please like the video. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Also that you have your notification bells on. All right, so having said that, let's go ahead and open up these cards and get into Carlos King. So the reading opens up with the Six of Swords and the Death card. And so the Death card came out, and the Six of Swords is what followed or what clarified the situation. And so what I'm seeing about this is that Carlos is grieving. He's grieving, but at the same time, I feel like he's kind of like accepting the change. You know what I mean? It's almost like it is what it is. It's not.
And if you look at Carlos King's Instagram, I don't think he's posted anything about it yet. Let me see. I'm looking again. Carlos. He hasn't posted anything about her quitting. Oh. Oh, he's grooving, you guys. Yeah, he is posting of him dancing in his workout stuff, acting unbothered. So let's see if this goes with what she says.
What I can do about it. It's time to kind of wrap this thing up, bring everything to a close, get some closure, and move on. That's what I'm seeing with this Death card and this Six of Swords. I feel like there's some sadness here. We have the Three of Swords in reverse, and I also have the Two of Cups there a little bit later in the spread, along with the Temperance card. And this is honestly giving me the vibe of some tears. Now, I don't know if him and Melody are friends or have been friends in the past, but there was some sort of deep affection. We have the Two of Cups, the Lovers card, and the Temperance in reverse. There was a deep affection, and the Strength card. I feel that within their bond, but I feel like Carlos maybe was turned against her because we have the Tower card here in reverse with the Page of Wands, and that was giving me the idea that some things were misrepresented to Carlos, and maybe he misrepresented some things too. I don't feel like that's the whole of what happened, but a lot of this spread to me cites conflict as a misrepresentation of what was actually the facts. So I don't know if there's a bone carrier or there's an instigator or there's a go-between that was working to maybe divide Melody and Carlos. I don't know who that could be. It could be Martell, right? There's a lot of men in the spread. We have the King of Swords, we have the King of Pentacles, and we also have the Three of Pentacles, which is in reverse. And for me, this represents a brotherhood. So this could be Marcel, because the King of Swords is Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. King of Pentacles is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So it could be Marcel having gotten in the middle of something and misrepresented something, alluded to something, or something like that, right? That's what it looks like to me. The Death card is about things changing, though, at the core of it, right? It's about things going from one stage, one phase of life into another. And I feel like trying to...
Let me just say right here that I kind of feel like that rates, because this season specifically, Martell was very in on the millimeters are evil of it all during the first part of the season. And that seemed to kind of be like something that wouldn't have been talked about before. So for him to be able to bring it up, and then that allows him and his wife to be the victims instead of the villains, which they had been, because Miss Wanda and even their own actions against the Holts and now Melody Rodgers, they had not been playing nice with her for a long time. And then we get to the season finale and they're like, oh, Melody's sitting away from us by herself. She ostracized herself. No, bitch. For all these seasons, you've been fucking with her to the point where she needs to be around you, but not around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so interesting to me. So, but this right here rates that the love that we saw, where it seemed like also at the beginning of the season, how Melody was at Carlos King's, tour for his Messy Mondays tour, and how we got introduced to Sonny at that and all of that stuff. He invited Melody because he was closest to Melody, we thought, all this time. We did always think that Carlos King had some kind of boy crush on Martell. But somebody definitely helped skew the adoration between Melody and Carlos King. And it feels apparent because she was less and less and less and less protected in spaces. However, that is a theme on Carlos King shows, unfortunately, even on Bell Collective, where the women don't feel protected or safe in the spaces that he provides for entertainment. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Let's keep on listening to some of this.
Kind of make your peace with that. This departure, or these departures lately for Carlos, they're not comfortable for him. He's very, very uncomfortable. And I feel like there's like a painful, even kind of grieving associated with this particular departure. You know what I mean? Or easily has Carlos eating out of the palm of his hand and going in the direction that he wants things to go. You know what I mean? And I feel
that's Marceau she's talking
going
about.
for his. And I feel like he used Carlos. Like I said, I don't know if it's because Carlos is flirty with him, or maybe they just speak the same language. I don't know. But he's not visibly in front of this. You see what I'm saying? He's not visibly talking about this. But he misrepresented some facts in the background. He lied, maybe. Or maybe he doesn't feel like it's lying. Maybe he kind of played with the facts or omitted some facts, or, like I said, played with some words or implied something. And maybe even with this strength card, I could see a level of trust even between him and Carlos. Maybe there's a trust in judgment or a trust in his word to where Carlos, didn't feel the need to second guess it. But at the same time, this person had like a ruthless intention or a ruthless ambition. You know what I mean? Like he was going for his. And I feel like he used Carlos. Like I said, I don't know if it's because Carlos is flirty with him, or maybe they just speak the same language. I don't know. But I don't know. He did something. That's all I can say. He did something. You know what I mean? And it was out of his own ambition, for sure. That's kind of what I'm feeling like. But I feel like I don't know, there's something about the way this strength card looks that's making me feel like and I know this is so strange because we're talking dominance and submission, and I know y'all don't like that language, but this is making me feel like he easily subdued Carlos, or he easily has Carlos in his back pocket with this King of Swords. You know what I mean? Or easily has Carlos eating out of the palm of his hand and going in the direction that he wants things to go. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's an unsympathetic element about how he's coming. You know what I mean? It's merciless. Now, again, could it be a convoluted revenge plot to get back at Martell for what he did with the girl? Possibly. Right? Could he be playing his revenge card in the background instead of the foreground? Possibly. And could he have done that by trying to turn Carlos against people as a way to, separate these relationships and these bonds? Because, like I said, there's a deep affection between Carlos and Melody. And I don't know, it's giving me the vibe that Marceau somehow came between them. I don't know if he was telling one person one thing. I don't know. We'll have to see how it plays out. Yeah, I don't know. This is not cool. On the flip side, I'm also seeing Carlos as having been, like I said, a little aloof, a little, trying to turn a blind eye to shit, or even absent-minded about what he would, the information he was taking in. You know what I mean? Like I said, I feel like he just trusted it. Definitely. There's some legal matters. And yeah, I feel like somebody did something. I don't want to say they broke the law, but there's definitely some prejudice. Like I said, I don't know. There's something where, yeah, the bounds could have been crossed for sure. But the justice is here in the upright. And if the boundaries were crossed, this is not something that Carlos.
Hey, Couture Bay, thanks for being in the house. Designs and Decor, Mamere, Jazzy J Life. Bianca, thanks for being here. LaDawn. Who else is here? Anybody else say hello? Oh, Joanne. Allie from Miami, thanks for coming through. Gloria Evans, Mamere, we already said. Miss Sparkle, wow, and Mademoiselle Kathy, thanks for being here. You guys, happy Saturday. And of course, Mel NYC and Richie B, thanks for being here. Hey, Decor, all opinions are welcome. It's okay. She could say a Couture Bay is a curvy for sure. And if she wants to say Mel is a fool, it's totally okay. It's totally okay. Yeah, don't worry about it. I mean, that's not totally disrespectful to here at the channel. And yeah, people are totally entitled to their opinion. And whether or not we all subscribe to the same opinion, we don't have to, you know what I mean? We don't have to censor. I'm not with censorship in any fucking way. I'm totally down with the First Amendment, So yeah, people have a right to say what they want, and I welcome all opinions. We don't have to agree, but we are about to love and respect each other over here, I love you. Thank you, Decor, those for trying to Well, for keeping it safe and beautiful. So yeah, and we don't subscribe, so it's okay to that belief. But Couture Bay is a YouTube content creator in these streets, so you people go over and smash her buttons because she be having the knowledge. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like people don't see it the way that we see it designed. Like people just don't see that Melody endured anything for the past 6 years on TV at the hands of anybody and feel like it's all self-inflicted and exacerbated to the point of fake sympathy for a woman who doesn't deserve any empathy or sympathy and chose to be in her situation like chose to be in that situation and chose like people act like Melody accompanied Martell to Coleslaw's house, unzipped his pants, and put his peen inside of Coleslaw is how much they act like Melody had to do with it. And like, oh, she stayed, she put up with it. Oh, da. Forget that she was a married woman trying to abide by her oath. Forget that she was trying to have her family. Forget that she was trying to have her husband and the father of her kids all accessible to their family 24 hours a day, even at her mental expense, because knowing that he has community peen can't be a good feeling. But she was even willing to forego that when he said, I'm not doing it anymore. And then we get around all what we find out are all his friends. She didn't even know these people that much. These are all Martell's circle of friends that have known Martell and his clan forever. And then the treatment that she got from them, they all knew she was getting cheated on, and they're sitting down at her table and inviting her to barbecues, knowing about the next bitch and smiling in her face. But nope, Melody. I just don't get it. I don't get it. But I don't have to get it because my experiences in life shaped my perception and my beliefs. And in my experiences in life, there's no place I'm putting up with for longer than I want to a cheating man and a disrespectful side piece. And there's no way that people who are supposed to be my friends are going to then bring up alleged sex tapes of my mom and let Backyard Billy and Mama Wanda talk stuff about my kids' hair and act like they didn't and try to physically accost and fight me repeatedly for nothing and then blame me. Oh, and then her fans are to blame because she has support. Oh my God, it's like they want her on an island by herself with nobody but one seagull that drops by every now and again during migration. And the rest of the time they need Melody broken in a fetal position, unable to excel. That's what they would like. And the whole time they're copying a blueprint. She drop a video, they drop a video. She drop a music video, they drop a music video. She drops some t-shirts, they drop some t-shirts. Then Marceau talks about the t-shirts that his wife is dropping. She drops some freaking hair stuff for her kids. Sugar Mama has an eczema or whatever, and now her kids need some stuff. She has a chemist, they need a chemist. She has some body oil, they want some body oil. She needs a podcast, they need a podcast. She does the freaking, what's the name of the group that even came together ever? They want to redo the same group with the same people. It's just like, I don't know. I don't know why I notice shit like that. Of all the stuff to notice, I do not notice that they have a storyline. I don't notice the Scott storyline. I don't notice it without Melody being in their mouth. I don't notice their storyline. Any of the Scott's storyline. We've never seen Maurice practice law. We haven't seen a finished product from Skolt. We didn't even see like a whole full on successful. Well, no, it was successful in as much as they did it. But even they and their vendors were complaining about the Black Expo. Um, and then over at Maurice and Kimmy's house, he's demanding sex after chemo treatments and coming home with lipstick on his chin from the known establishment where the witching hour of 3 a.m. is where people can come get busy with no beds, but then you conduct business there the next day. I really hope there's sanitation involved. That's really freaking gross. Oh, and everybody there that's why Melody really left, you guys. You guys, guess what? I know why Melody left. Because she's the only one without a mugshot. Everybody else there got mugshots. She didn't want to be around all those criminals no more. Everybody else there has a mugshot. Yeah, when you can't associate with certain people, when you're of a certain yoke, you can't continue to go play dice on the corner. You just can't. And I feel like that's what Melody was doing. She was like, "Oh no, I'm not for this vibe. No." And it's like side chicks united over there. She's like, "No, you guys can have it. You infested my house. See you, Tata."
Even see the girls really just trying to snatch each other's heads off like that. So I thought this was a milder season, but maybe it's just me. You know what I mean? What do we have here? Let's move forward. I wanted to talk a little bit about this lover's card because I feel like that's another part of this spread that represents the relationship that he has with Melody. They have it, regardless of how y'all want to look at it. They had a friendship. They had a deep friendship that was they cared about each other. You know what I mean? They were in a partnership, and it did start based on ethics and morals with this lover's card. You know what I mean? Because the lover's card is about ethics and morals. It's about choosing the right path. You know what I mean? And it's about your partnership with another person and deciding whether or not you're going to do the right thing by that person. And with the Three of Swords in reverse, I have no choice but to assume that he did not do the right thing because it's showing him to be at fault in the breakdown. Now, could the fault have been him being manipulated by a third person? For sure, whoever that person may be, whether it's Martell, Marceau, both. But it looks like somebody turned Carlos against the lady. You know what I mean? I just have to say it there for sure. Yeah, definitely not taking that off the table. So I feel like it came to a point where Carlos had a choice. It was like a moral decision. That's what it is in a love situation. But yeah, there was a decision where he was called to do something morally correct, and he chose to turn a blind eye to it. He chose to act like that wasn't what was being asked of him. You know what I mean? And therefore, maybe was not responsible. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely. I don't know. I feel like the situation required cooperation from all sides, and people stopped cooperating with each other. Maybe the communication skills was off. I know it sounds weird to go to therapy with your coworker and your boss, but this relationship is so deep, right? It's 8 years into it, and then it keeps him from really being able to stick it to her. And honestly, I ain't gonna lie, I haven't seen her do anything worth having it stuck to her either. You know, yeah, we know about social media, we know about bloggers, we know about YouTube, but go at the YouTubers then if that's how you feel. But as far as what she's doing herself, I don't see her doing that much. You know what I mean? I just don't, but maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. But this Emperor reverse is saying that Carlos is just not assertive enough. He's just passive. He's a weak leader. And again, like I said, he turns a blind eye. I don't know if it's a fear of confrontation. Maybe that's why he likes Marceau so much. But Marceau is playing him like a fiddle. He's dominating Carlos. You know what I mean? And yeah, there is a sexual tension. I'm not saying that Marceau is gay. I'm saying that he knows that Carlos is, and he's treating Carlos like a sissy. You know what I mean? Like a woman. Maybe he dominates Carlos with the same energy that he does Letitia. You know what I mean? Yeah, Carlos, it's almost like he's submitted to Marceau. Marceau's very patronizing towards him. Definitely. Now, I also feel like with the Emperor reverse and this Eight of Wands, I feel like this was a coup. Now, who's involved? I don't know if it has to do with the Ladies of Bell Collective, Melody, some production people, Sunny. I don't know who's involved. But there was a coup staged against Carlos, too, at the same time. You know what I mean? Definitely. Somebody staged a coup.
11-11.
But at the same time, I feel like Carlos' main motivation was to create more equity with the other cast members and also protect the money. Remember, he got a lot of investors. You got the King of Pentacles there and the Queen of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles. This is bigger than Carlos even. This is about his boss. His boss's boss. You know what I mean? This is about a lot of people who have money on the line and him being responsible for watching that money and protecting those investments. And I feel like with that Justice card there's some legal action that Carlos is about to take to protect the money. Or maybe there's a legal position that they've already put themselves in to protect the money. You know what I mean? Because this is about business. This Queen of Pentacles and this Justice card, this is about business. And again, I don't know if that's somebody being sued for loss of revenue, but it is coming in as Carlos's energy and showing that he would be successful in that. If there was a sabotage or an intentional sabotage of an investment or something like that, he would win with the Justice card being upright for him, for now, for this spread, right? For sure. The Three of Pentacles is here in reverse, but it's also clarified by the King of Pentacles. And like I said, even with that Emperor card, this is about money. This has moved into a money realm. Or it needs to, because Carlos has to start thinking with his head. He's been thinking with his emotions when it comes to Melody this whole time. You know what I mean? And then feelings is where you're going to get caught up. But again, once you turn off those feelings and you go straight to your mind, it's showing that he can be very, very cruel. Very, very cruel and ruthless and unfair. So there's a savage side to him. But right now, I feel like he's still very much in his feelings about this shit, for sure. You know what I mean? Also get a sense of somebody's digging a hole for themselves. I don't know if the hole is for you to go crawl in or if you get yourself in more trouble. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? But there was an offer turned down. And I feel like you could have did more with that King of Pentacles. You could have offered more. But there's trouble. He's in trouble with his boss. I don't know how to say it. He's in trouble with his boss with that Three of Pentacles in reverse and that King of Pentacles. Yeah. And it's about money. You know what I mean? So I don't know. There's definitely, like I said, two kings in a spread. That's usually a conference call. The Justice card, there's lawyers on the phone for sure. You know what I mean? He's under like evaluation, or I don't want to say investigation, but he's like being evaluated or something like that. There's also some executives that are pulling out. Like I said, I don't know if he has executive producers who are invested in the production of the show, but somebody's pulling out of that. You know what I mean? I feel like there's also some strategizing with this Three of Pentacles and this King of Pentacles. Him and his superiors are strategizing. He's being criticized, maybe chastised, but they're still strategizing or talking about how to deal with this. You know what I mean? I feel like he's trying to maybe prove that it was planned for him to be sabotaged or something like that. But he's nervous. He's nervous for sure. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I'm showing. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And
okay, you guys, is Inner Alchemist TV. And like I said, she did a spread on Carlos. She also did something on Nell. But we won't talk about that right now because I just wanted to show again the similarity between what's happening in our reality world with how Bravo and OWN are both doing too much, y'all. They doing too much and they are not protecting the people. And they are both getting sued for that shit. There's an active cease and desist. Oh yeah, let's go back to Simon's page because I think he put that here in his stories. He put the cease and desist in the stories. Yeah. Where is the cease and desist? Oh, no, there it is. Let's go back to Simon really quick. Because So Gucci on Bell Collective had a do not contact order with Selena on, and then after they got the do not contact order, Carlos gave her a bell in this huge ceremony in front of So Gucci, who has the do not contact order with the lady who he knows had attacked her. And and then when So Gucci brought it up on Messy Monday, he took that episode down. So there's been little stuff stirring since then because she was like, I didn't feel safe. I don't feel safe. You guys knew. And he's like, no, we didn't. You did it. And she's like, you guys knew. And yeah, so they knew and tried to make her to blame for breaking the contact thing when she didn't even know the lady was going to be in the scenes all like that. I don't think. So let me show you real quick another similarity between the situation with Own and Bravo is so we have Melody who said she was going to be doing the for putting it in writing. And now we have Simon Goubadia who is reminding us that why is my 2021 Rolls Royce Ghost in the season 16 official trailer? I distinctly recall my attorney sending a cease and desist to prevent filming of my car without my consent. At Bravo TV, we need to have a conversation. Slide 2 seemingly supports my memory. Comcast, NBC, Universal, what are we doing? Okay. And then we have his car. Sneak peek, your first look. Oh my gosh, that's his car. And this is his cease and desist. There we go. So this is via express mail regarding legal notice to cease and desist. Simon Goubadia, his 2020 Rolls Royce Ghost, the year, the make, the model, the license plate. The undersigned Rolls Royce pictured. I can't read a lot of it, but it's a cease and desist that says, don't show my stuff on your show. It says, don't show my stuff on your show. And you did this. You showed my Rolls Royce. And then you have Mama Diane trying to pull a Cordell on me. He said, I'm not Cordell. I'm not Cordell. Remember, wasn't Mama Diane in the room when Porsha was saying he was gay anyway or something like that about Cordell? And this says the rotting, the scamming, it makes you think how much of it was real, referring to Simon. So all of these disparaging narratives that are either unfounded and then allowed to be founded by creating it online, that's like foul stuff. Come with a storyline, leave the people out of it that don't want to be in it, okay? And I'm not going to show us the Real Housewives of Atlanta trailer, but I would like to know honestly, which trailer did you guys like? Did you like the music video for Real Housewives of Atlanta, or did you like the trailer for Married to Medicine? Yeah, I don't know. But let's get into some of these comments and then we'll be out of here, you guys. Thanks for coming through to Larger Curves. Thanks for liking this video, smashing the subscribe button and ringing the bell. Let's see. Let me go up to right about here. A straight beats a flush. Good morning. All the Carlos members are dropping like flies. It might make him look like a failure, catching him by surprise one by one. He's doing something to these people. Everybody ain't wrong. Yes. Mamir, yep, it's something. They all quit in the way and embarrassed him too. Yep. They even been catching him by surprise on his lives. Yep. Calling out the bullshit. That's what I'm saying. So after So Gucci said that she wasn't protected, she quit. But then Aisha and her husband went on the show and she quit on the show. It was so good. I was like, go girl. And they have a podcast on these YouTube streets called F It. If you did happen to like the colognes, Aisha and Willie both have YouTube stuff happening. Now, Let's see. Carlos had an opportunity to prove the reality producers can be above what Andy and Bravo does. I had high hopes for him to thrive. Yeah, I mean, it seems like the things just end up devolving, and I'm not really sure why. I don't feel bad for any of them. They were competing over that Dusty, right? Mamira, I did too, especially since he was the producer for the best times on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Yeah, it's disappointing. It sure is. No worries. Yeah, Bell Collective is, I don't know, even on Bell Collective, the Letitia, and Lytrice is what I call them. And of course, Carlos loves liars. His formula for becoming a force multiplier is how many lies can you tell in a day? And for me, a force multiplier is how excellent can you be in a day? Or you know what I mean? Like, or I don't know. It's just like the less lies, the better for me for your excellence brand. But I can see why Carlos King allows Lytrice and Letitia to be front runners and why he's gravitating towards the Scots because he likes where the mess resides and Melody wasn't playing mess, I guess. Design and decor. It's okay. It was a mistake. Thank y'all. I'm learning. No worries. But Mary just needs to get to the reality and yes, and let the drama come naturally. All this scripted, be it ABC Bakery at 11:11 is ridiculous. Marty has his own agenda. Can we say Melody loved him more, sucking her thumb in the closet? Kimmy said it ain't lipstick, right? Did y'all hear her said she and Lauren was going to watch Wicked? Yeah, that was cute yesterday. CK said he goes off. Oh, but did you guys see the gat on the table? Oh my gosh, she did a live. So yesterday, Melody did a live, and we got it over here. And she had the Jason. I guess is that security? Because security is locked and loaded. Let's just say yes, yes. Shout out to awesome husbands, Kathy. Thanks for coming back. I was like, your hookah at work? Did you guys order a hookah bar at work? And I'm like, and then I realized that no, it's this hookah at work. I was like, oh, that's the best job ever. They let you have a hookah bar at work and you just hit to No, she just tried you. That's hilarious. You had to get her together. That's right. That's right. You got to get the Scots together as soon as they try it, you know? Anyway, no, I'm just kidding, you guys. I love the Scots. It takes a lot of courage to share your version of your life on TV. Yeah, that's what. Oh, look, and then Mamere thought you were smoking hookah too. That's hilarious. Man, because she ain't paid her rent in 4 months. There's nothing to discuss. Too bad, and it's cold outside too. Oh, damn. Yeah, some people just white knuckle it. Unfortunately, they get so scared they don't do anything, and it's too bad. You can't do everything for everybody. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink, right? You can't teach an old dog new tricks unless they feel like learning, right? So you did your part. You gave her the programs, and they were federally funded last week when you gave them to her. So she should have been able to get something last week. Who knows now what she can get, if anything, it had anything to do with federal funds. That's crazy. Yeah, he was the biggest producer at Bravo. Oh, look, Mamere and me, we're in each other's minds. Oh my God, you said the same thing. We can lead a horse to water, but we can't make him drink. I hadn't even looked right there yet. No way. Right? I love you guys, my curvy crew. Couture said, right, Couture Bay? He should have kept his that same mindset and skill set. Yeah, trying to compete with Andy is a downfall, but even Andy, I mean, is Andy really even competing with anybody? He's oblivious to what's going on. He doesn't even watch the shows. I feel like Carlos is very invested and might even be on set. You know what I mean? Andy is so far removed from the stuff at this point that, yeah, he's not doing it on the same level. Yeah. Yeah, what's your email address? And then she can get that to you. But you guys, you know what? So that was the thick of it. We went over everything. We went over everything. I do believe the menu happenings. So we went over Melody. We listened to the tarot lady. We see what Carlos's feelings about it are. We see why Simon Goubadia has his elbow upon Porsha's head. It's because he's not letting up. He sent the cease and desist. You need to cease and desist. Not only talking about him, but showing his property when he doesn't want it shown. You're not about to profit off of you playing me. Nuh-uh. Mm-mm. And then Dr. Heavenly saying that her trailer is better than Real Housewives of Atlanta trailer. I think she's right. And did you guys notice that Phaedra's doing a lot of press now? And I think she asked them to not ask her about Married to Medicine. And I don't know why Bravo's letting that fly, because she still has a duty to market this other show on their network. And she's not giving Married to Medicine any shine, any advertising. She wiped her freaking thing clean of it. And Sweet Tea thinks she getting a call after the season. Okay, you can keep hope alive, girl. Keep hope alive. Anyway, Simon, move around. You got what you deserve. You know what? I'm not sure. What do you say that for? Because Simon left Fallon, who was pregnant by the pool boy, for Porsha? Or is there something else that he's getting what he's deserving? I'm not sure why everybody hates Simon. I don't know. If he's so broke, then why is she in his $7 million house that's paid for? If he's so broke, then why is his Rolls Royce in the shot? If he's so broke, then why is he traveling around the road? And if he is so broke, then it must be the white people kind of broke, because he's still doing everything that the rich white people are doing. So he must be rich in the right way. You know what I'm saying? Because she used Married to Medicine for a foot back in the door, and it works. She's back home. She doesn't care about anything else. And you know, Bianca, you came late, darling, but I was telling the people about how Married to Medicine was not her foot back in the door. Real Housewives of Dubai was. And she called Chanel Ayan and Caroline Brooks over in Dubai and had asked them, can they be on the season? Then they let her on the season, and then she immediately started tearing down that show after she left. And then she went to Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, and I guess that has too many white people on it for her to disparage much. And then she gets over here and she asked Quad to let her on Married to Medicine, only for her to have him lead the charge in HR to have Quad kicked off the show that she invited her to. Okay? And now she's back on Real Housewives of Atlanta only because Candy left and revenge porn gate with Ken. So they had to pull out all the stops except for the stop they need to pull out, which is Nene. Because until they do right by Nene, nothing will go right on that show. I already said it. They can pull Cynthia out. They can recycle Sheree. They can even bring Kim. I don't know about why I work with these circus girls anyway, with these girls anyway. Remember her and her? Mm-hmm. These people comment. Mm-hmm. They'll even have her and her racist leaning ass back up there before they let Nene Leakes back on that show. Nothing is going to go good on that show until they do right by Nene Leakes. Phaedra's not going to help. Porsha's not going to help. Britt Edie's not going to help. Yep. They need Nene back. Nene by herself could help. And that's if the other ladies allow her to exist in greatness. But Phaedra is such a freaking, she wants to be front and center so bad. She would be the one to try to bring Nene down. Somebody asked Nene, I'm telling you, Phaedra's not a girl's girl, especially for melanated queens, in my opinion. Somebody asked her the other day about Nene Leakes coming back to Real Housewives of Atlanta. And you know, she didn't even say nothing about Nene Leakes. She said she went to Kim Zolciak. Why couldn't she lift Nene Leakes up? Why? Interesting. I'm just watching the pattern power with Phaedra. Great wigs and smirks, but it's seeming like she's not a real girl's girl at all. Simon is not broke. He is smart and hid a majority of his assets from Porsha. Yep. Are we watching tonight? Yeah, so I will be watching, but I've been watching the freaking Love and Marriage Huntsville in a place they can't get my view anyway, which is here on YouTube. If you just type in Love and Marriage Huntsville live around 5 p.m. your time, you might be able to see what I usually see, which is the entire episode with no commercials. Yeah. In real time. Yeah. And I don't even have to pay for HBO Max anymore to get to it or try to have OWN as a standalone. Nope. Can get pretty much all of those shows on YouTube in real time. Now I do Peacock for my Bravo, but yeah. But I probably will watch tonight just to see what else they do and like how they chop it. Now that they put it in the freaking description for the episode that they're going to be discussing how she was groomed or whatever. Yeah. We'll see. Have to see how the reunion goes to see what set Mel off. Well, I'm sure it's like this mistreatment. Like they allow her to be attacked for things they know aren't true and that they fabricated. They create a narrative and then they allow her to be attacked for the narrative they created. And it's a hostile work environment. It's like, it doesn't feel good. Phaedra rides her horse English style, and those fancy equestrian girls are always snobby in my experience, right? Yeah. And they definitely are sticking to the plan, the formula. And the formula traditionally is tear down the Black people. Yep. She wants to be the only. There was a theory one time that Lonnie Lon and Tamar Braxton got into it on that Real Talk show because Lonnie Lon wanted to be the only Black person on set. And then somebody said something else about, they're like, oh, you want to be the only Black person in the space? And I'm like, I'm not sure where that's ever really been in our favor, except for in certain instances. But I don't really subscribe to that. But I feel like I see that with Phaedra's treatment of other Black women who are as excellent or more excellent than she is. Like she doesn't have a problem with Sweet Tea right now because she feels over Sweet Tea. She feels over Contessa even. But she can exist like that. If she feels over you, she can exist. If she feels like you have something over her, then she tries to tear you down and make you look like the bad guy so she can be the victim. That's what I'm seeing. Anyway, and I love Phaedra Parks. I love her. I'm just saying I didn't really notice this pattern before about her, and it's a little disappointing because I wish she would have gave a little more on the best show on Bravo while she had the time instead of end her stay there with trying to get Quad kicked off of that show. That's just so nasty. Anyway, you guys, we talked about it all. Let's leave it in the comments. Make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. If you haven't already, ring my bell so you can get notified when I upload videos. Remember, there's enough to go around, so go get some, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.